what should you expect when you get Ansible automation platform up and running and you actually have adopted automation within your organization? I think you're going to see huge time savings. There's just a massive amount of time savings for things you couldn't even thought of before. And what's really cool is we actually track all that within the Ansible automation platform. So you can see how many hours of time you took and compare it to what it used to be before. You can actually customize that manual time and compare it to the automated time that you have now. Even if the playbook takes 10 minutes to run, you can actually put in like, this used to take me, I don't know, 3 days to actually get this task done. You can compare those times at the end of the year and actually reap all the benefits of that and show your management chain like, whoa, this is really cool. But I think the biggest one is you're just not going to pull your hair out on different kind of frustrating tasks between teams. So anyone can automate something within that particular product domain or that silo or whatever your organization is. There's lots of cool management tools within every space, but there's very few tools that actually cross the domain boundary and help orchestrate multiple different domains. So I think what you'll see is you kind of get rid of those problems in a lot of cases where one team interacts with another team and it's through spreadsheets and emails. It just becomes really prone to error. And like if I'm typing something from an email into another tool, it's just another point where I could make a mistake, and it's something prone to failure, where I'm going to mistype something, or it just takes time. It may take a few days to get back to someone just because you have a queue of email or a ticketing system, and it's not clear how much time you're wasting just trying to get back to people, where it could be an automated process for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So if I had to call out any tips or tricks with doing Ansible automation for load balancers and DNS, is that this is just another domain for Ansible that is actually like core to what Ansible automation was created for. So we can do a lot of different domains. Domains are just kind of like, think of them as like bigger categories of use cases, because like backing up a network switch, that's a use case, but network automation itself is more of like a domain. So DNS kind of crosses everything within IT infrastructure. Everything has a DNS name: Linux, Windows, network. The actual DNS server itself is a DNS name, right? And the same thing with load balancers. There's no application I've ever heard of that doesn't have a load balancer at some scale, right? Is we need to be able to understand how the load balancers work, automate them, and orchestrate them within my IT processes. So I think it's just to say that this is not necessarily a net new thing to worry about or stress out about, is realizing that this is a very common thing for people to automate. And I'm sure someone has done it before. So learn from someone else, find a mentor within the industry. Even if you choose to do this without a mentor, come online and talk to communities of practice and learn how other customers are doing this successfully, or come talk to Red Hat. We can make you successful. So thinking about the approach for when you're trying to automate load balancers and DNS is to make sure you break down complex tasks you're doing today into tiny little tasks where you can get success on them. So for example, where the end state might be something cool where I want to automate bringing out an application, draining traffic from it, and then re-fixing that application node, whether it's a container or Linux server, and re-adding it to a load balancer, is you can break that down into small steps, like remove node from load balancer pool. Could be could be a one task playbook. It could be that easy. Draining traffic from it, learning how to write a playbook to actually check, hey, is this application being used by any clients? I don't want to remove it or turn the application off if someone's actually in the middle of a session with that application. Do I fix that application? What does that playbook look like? Was it a database needs to be reset? Or is it the application just needs to be restarted? Is it a memory problem with that server that needs to be re-added? So just the three things taking it down could be 3 separate playbooks that you can add back together when you get them automated. But rather than waiting till the end and trying to automate like a 6-step process, is allow your team to start using those job templates right away so they can start gaining familiarity with Ansible automation platform and gaining ROI quickly, because they're getting 10 minutes back here, 15 minutes back there, 20 minutes the next day. That starts allowing them to understand, oh, this is really powerful. And they'll actually come up with way more use cases than you possibly thought of when you started planning. And that's where you see true cultural transformation for your team to start adopting automation at scale.